What's up everyone, it's Yamor's new video, and now I'm going to talk... Why I'm doing such huge gestures actually? Now I'm going to talk about the running order which was revealed yesterday, and I'm very curious what each other country running order really is and how it's gonna affect them. Let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad you are here. I really appreciate it. I really hope you're subscribing the channel, giving thumbs up and watching my other videos. I've already made video for every single country. Every country has their reaction video. It's just a reaction actually, so it's just first watch, first listen, first reaction, first thoughts, just the immediate things which just came up on my mind. So take it as serious as you want, but I'm already listening every single song in my headphones on Spotify, watching music videos again and again, and I definitely change mind in many of them or for any of them, and I definitely will bring up few analyses of songs which I probably like or where I change my mind a lot. Probably I won't make the video for all of them, but I will definitely try. Now let's talk about the running order, which is very essential part of Eurovision. It's always a big thing when it's going to be released. There's a lot of speculation how important it is or not, but let me tell you this, I wasn't a fan of saying like the running order is that important, in the way that what is most important is the quality of your song and the strength of your artist basically combined, and then it doesn't really matter what running order is. But it was times when as well juries and as well public were able to put their votes in, combined they made the result that just helped somebody or it didn't. Now we're in a very different situation, and very fundamentally different situation where only fans are voting, which already shows that running order is extremely important. First of all, you know that it's possible that a lot of people won't see your act just for the matter that they will start the show later, after the first song or two songs or even three songs are already released. As well, we know that the viewing figures for semifinals are a bit lower than for the finals, or a lot lower actually, so a lot of countries won't put the mass voting yet. And that other thing is that very probably the fans of Eurovision, they will put their votes, okay, but there's another part of the public who will just do it randomly, and it's hard to predict. So if we just go with the odds, there is something which can be true, matter less actually where is your placing right now in the odds. And as well, there is a huge thing for every single country which now has their viewing figures, their Spotify figures, their social media figures low. There is no such appetite for their artist or their song yet, and I think those countries should really bring up the speed. They should really fast forward, they should really accelerate their activities, because those are the indicators that you want to do well at Eurovision regardless your position in running order. On the other hand, the running order is very important in the way that you have always the competition basically is the song before you and the song after you. So it really matters, but unless any other sport and competition, you can't do anything about it. You must only focus on yourself, do your best, and that's the way of success basically. Even though only fans or only viewers are voting, you have to really focus as well on being as interesting as possible, because unless professionals who are thinking about the song in the wider context, the only what matters in general public voting, I don't take specific viewer but just take the general, only what matters is how you're going to interact with them. So they must remember your song for sure, not just because of the great vocal quality, but in general you must burn the number into their brains, and that's the very hard task. So that's just the first few points to running order. As well, there is a technical running order point, which means that the running order as well were done probably in regards on how complicated the staging is, if there is a time to really build it up, if there is a time to really move everything out of the stage and on the stage. So some decisions on the running order were probably made as well by technical stuff or with the recommendation. The rest, well, I'm very curious, because what we know that first half and the second half of each semifinal was already voted on, but now we're going to see the specific numbers. So let's watch it for the first semifinal. I'm very curious. The first semifinal running order: Norway, Malta, Serbia, Latvia, Portugal, Ireland, Croatia. First half. Second half, Switzerland, Israel, Moldova, Sweden, Azerbaijan, Czechia, Netherlands, Finland. This semifinal actually is extremely strong on good quality songs, which actually whole Eurovision is full of. Norway starting for me, it's a bit surprise, but it's a strong song. It's a smart decision in the way that this song is one of the most successful songs of this year's Eurovision. If you just watch the figures on their Spotify, on YouTube, and whenever, this is one of the leading songs from the very beginning. Maybe it's strategical to put it first as well. That can be as well a bit deadly for Norway, especially if we just watch what countries are in the semi-final with them, as well as Serbia, Latvia, Croatia, Czechia, Azerbaijan, Moldova. In such countries, this song will resonate that much. Basically, in more Eastern Europe and so on, we are a bit allergic on feministic topic in the way on this pushing. But on the other hand, I'm listening this song a lot of times already. I'm not avoiding it, and I'm starting to understand why is that popular. So just musically, I think it's gonna work, and Alessandra sings just perfectly live. I honestly think that for Norway, it's not a good sign that they are starting first, even though I think they can make it easily to the finals just because of the fan base they have. Hopefully. Malta, the busker, is the second one, and then Serbia on the third place. Malta doesn't have a bad song, so it's kind of a good song, but if I compare it to the power the Norway song has to show the atmosphere of the songs, and then the power, quality, and specifics which Serbian song have, that seems a bit deadly for Malta in this combination. On the other hand, upcoming songs from this semifinals are Latvia, Portugal, Ireland, and Croatia, which basically I'm very curious what the viewer will prefer, because all those songs, Norway, Malta, Serbia, Latvia, Portugal, and Ireland, they are good quality songs. I would say they all and each of them are a bit original to each other, and they're not competing in the same genre. Every single one of them has a specific feeling. I'm very curious about the Croatia on number 7, but definitely you will remember it before the break. You will remember this act, whatever you think about it, but that will just start a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions inside. I'm very curious if this is going to be the emotions of I need to send vote to this, or what the hell is this doing at the competition of such quality. In this first 7, I think the worst position, actually the 5th, is for Portugal, kind of, because unless other songs, Portugal is different, and I think if Portugal wants to change their staging, this would seem a bit theatrical, unless all other songs will look more show-like, I would say. That's what I think is gonna happen, or what I've saw in their national selections. 8th place, Switzerland, 9 Israel, 10 Moldova, 11 Sweden, 12 Azerbaijan, 13 Czechia, 14 Netherlands, 15 Finland. Extremely strong second half, like extremely strong. Starting with Switzerland, which I'm not sure if it's a great spot for Switzerland, with one of the best songs this year. Then Israel, which works on Spotify, works on streaming platforms. I'm listening to it, I'm starting to being less and less fan of this song, but I can imagine, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to work perfectly on stage, because it has all the attributes for being staged. It has all the attributes being Eurovision song, which I basically feel that this is one of the most Eurovision songs we have this year. Less authenticity but more party, and that's gonna work, especially after Switzerland, which is a slow ballad but with a very strong message. But then goes Moldova, and that's going to be very interesting, because Moldova has not a bad song. It's basically kind of a similar style as Go A with Shum, and if they're going to stage it well, being less comedy and being more of pure quality staging, this is gonna work, and people can really vote for it because that's catchy melody. Sweden, I think this is a clear favorite, whatever position it is, even though I'm not pretty sure this is the best song of the year, but it has all the attributes of being the winner, especially, well, the live performance is extremely mesmerizing, first of all, and second of all, it has all the reminiscence for Euphoria, which just has musically the formula which everybody just likes. it is what it is. Then Azerbaijan with their completely original song, especially for Azerbaijan, who mostly has a song constructed for Eurovision. Now they have authentic song, very cleverly written, with very nice atmosphere. They're not the favorites, definitely not this year, but I think that if there's juries, they're one of the first places, especially if the guys, those twins, can really sing live, because this is musically great song. It's simple but great. Czechia, I wonder what can happen that this song from Vesna won't pass through. Where place it is, especially because it's very original. Only what matters is the live performance, but I kind of think that even it's not perfect in the semifinal where only fans are voting, the performance itself doesn't matter that much. So what matters more is the staging and the melody, and if this going to work as well, the costumes and the act will be rememberable and won't be performed like terribly, that's passing through. And I think that also can count for the Netherlands and Finland. Like Finland, that just works, fans love it, that's clearly going through. And the Netherlands, I'm curious, because for me this is again one of the best songs this year. We have probably the most smart lyrics in ballad for a while. It's a duet and it's very polished, but in a way that even from the studio version it sounds very authentic, and I like it. Of course, I don't know how fans can take it, but if I'm a jury, this is one of the songs, especially from the semifinal, I'm thinking of giving 12 points. I didn't, of course, hear the live performance. Okay, semifinal one. If I just can get prediction for this, and only 10 songs can do it, so five are out, I think that's my guess and some kind of my expectation, what I think can happen, that Norway is going through, Serbia is going through, Switzerland is going through, Israel is going through, Moldova is going through, Sweden is going through, Czechia is going through, Netherlands and Finland are going through, and there is only one more place. I would actually say Latvia, because the song is very, very good. If the guy from Sudden Lights just gonna improve his singing, but maybe that won't matter in live performance as well. So okay, that's my prediction for semifinal one. I think it's extremely strong one. It was probably very hard to create a mix of how the songs have to go after each other, because basically, especially in second half, it doesn't matter, you have the quality on every single position every single time. That's basically actually counts as well for the first half. Semifinal 2, I'm very interested because I think that it's not that strong by songs as the semifinal one, which is just a bloodbath. Like every single song in semifinal 1 is strong, unless Croatia, in my opinion, but that's strong in other ways. So semifinal 2 is different. We have first position for Denmark, second Armenia. That's a surprise for me, actually. Second for Armenia, one of the, like, probably the best song Eurovision has this year. Okay, Romania third, Estonia fourth, Belgium fifth, sixth Cyprus, seventh Iceland, eighth Greece, 9th place for Poland, 10 for Slovenia, 11 for Georgia, 12 for San Marino, 13 for Austria, 14 for Albania, 15 for Lithuania, and 16 for Australia. That's really interesting second semifinal running order. First of all, what you have to know that the producers, especially producers who are doing running order, they know every single idea of staging already from each delegation, so they know the ideas behind it. So as well, they're counted in what's interesting more and what less. Basically, kind of, they need to have a balance and whatsoever. But starting with Denmark, Armenia, and Romania, this is kind of interesting for me. Like Denmark, this is a party. This work, the song is actually good. One of the best songs they sang for a very, very long while, I would say. Second place for Armenia, and I'm not sure, I don't know how the mathematics are for semifinals for the second place, but Armenia, wow, this is the one of the greatest songs this Eurovision definitely has on the second place. Maybe producers are counting that, especially for how popular this song can be, they start with it so they can influence more audience to just need to see it. And if so, this step is actually very, very smart and clever. Third Romania, fourth Estonia, Belgium fifth, Cyprus sixth, seventh Iceland, eighth Greece. It's very interesting that Greece and Cyprus are in the same half of the semifinal. Both songs are great. I'm curious of the live performance that can change things a lot. It can really change things a lot, but this part is kind of strange to me because we have all the kinds of songs. Probably it wasn't very easy to make the order in here because it's not the first half which kind of somehow sticks together because all the songs are very different to each other. I'm very curious because if you put Romania, Estonia, Belgium together, all those songs are in the odds quite low. If something's gonna really bring to audience the signal that, wow, this I have to really vote for, because I think as well Romania has a quite good song. It's deadly low in the odds, maybe just for the fact that the betting companies understand that this is something what people won't vote for. But in my honest opinion, as a jury, I would say that this song is something I easily can imagine I'm voting for, because it's definitely not bad. It's sung perfectly, and the dramaturgy development and the production quality of the song is quite good, especially when I saw the live version, which just worked. It just worked. This as well count for Belgium, and this not really count for Estonia, which is much better in headphones than watching it live actually. I'm curious for Cyprus. Iceland, we know that live performance is great, that Delia can just sing perfectly, but not everybody really like this drum and bass style. But if they improve their staging, especially by the editing, especially by the number of edits, especially to giving it more tempo into it, I think that they can really work well. But I'm not really sure in between Cyprus, Iceland and Greece they can stand out. On the other hand, if I just take the first half, so the most outstanding songs for me actually are Armenian, Cyprus, Iceland and Greece. So as well, this can be interesting to watch, especially when we go to start the second semi-final, where we have Poland, Slovenia, Georgia, San Marino, Albania, Lithuania and Australia. This is very interesting. In this regard, I think Georgia is clear qualifier even. I'm not really sure about the song, just watch my reaction video about it when you're gonna understand why I'm saying this. But in this perspective of especially second half of the semi-final, but even the second semi-final, this song is very strong. This song is just strong, a bit different, but in a way which definitely is interesting enough that you're going to send votes just for you to feel that this really deserves it. I think this is a clever from Georgia as well this year. What I'm curious is the fate of Poland. They're starting the semi-final, which I'm not sure it's good for them. It's good for viewing figures, I would say. But if the main singer of the song solo won't improve her vocals, I think even fans won't really save it. As well with the things that when you know that the fans only voting, and probably Eurovision fans, even it's just a drop in the water, they're for sure voting, sending votes. You definitely don't need to have a scandal about your song, because that take off lots of votes from you before you even started to go on stage. So I would really start to working on a positive PR and improving the songs, which I really hope I'm gonna see it as well on some of the pre-parties, which are important to see who can do it and who cannot. Slovenia for me, it's a huge question mark, because the song itself is very positive, it's good, I like it. Even if it's in Slovenian, it has this old school vibe as well, which actually doesn't really work that much in the headphones as it was working in the music video when I saw it for the first time. But I think that in this combination, it is something very else, very positive, and those guys on stage probably will look very funny in the way of charisma, that they will bring you the positive energy. And I think that's very important for you to succeed, especially when fans are voting, which is not good for Poland, because I believe that after Poland, Slovenia can bring the joy which is real, which is authentic, which I think it worked. And Georgia will then bring something spectacular, which also will help them, and you forget about Poland. Very probably that can really happen. And then go San Marino, which as well let Georgia to stand out. San Marino doesn't have bad song. If you're going to change the staging completely and the vibe of the staging and the costumes, I think that can work. But in this regard, especially when Austria goes after, this look a bit weaker. But I won't really scratch San Marino out, because the guy sings perfectly, really great, but they need to change the approach, I would say. Austria, I think that's a clear qualifier whenever you put it, because that's just have all those things which takes like fun, good song, good melody, great artists. If they're going to do a staging not over complicated but understandable, and the song just gonna work live, so basically if they're going to sing live perfectly, I'm not really aware of this. Well, I'm aware of the fate of Albania. I'm not sure that for such traditional songs is placed at Eurovision anymore if they have such production quality. It seems like from completely different century. Without any offense, because the song works, I understand it. Its quality is kind of good, but the point is, and the thing is that it's just very old school, and I'm not really sure that fans are willing to vote for such thing. Even the juries probably could save it, kind of, if they're going to see how the performer really sings perfectly live, and it kind of works. But I think fans will be cruel in this, and that's the fate of Albania. It's just finished. And I'm very curious for Lithuania, because this song is earworm. It works somehow. I'm listening to it in my headphones all the time. I watch the live performance, and when it goes to refrain, it's instant earworm. Even I'm starting to be annoyed of it, but most of fans will see it for the first time, and I think those fans who are going to watch it for the first time are the fans Lithuania should focus at, and should start to do a good marketing around this song. I somehow use its earworming catchiness and just put it in, and I think their fate is good. They can make it through. And for Australia, well, it's a rock metalish thing, which will work because this band is just great. They will have a great show. The song as well is catchy. It's not that hardcore, so it's accepted by the general audience, and I'm a bit sure that, especially that it's the last place, you're gonna remember it the most, and a lot of fans will just put it, yeah, this is great, because it's just instantly catch. It will delete everything before, because it's very different, and it's gonna work. But this semifinal is much harder to predict, because we haven't seen a lot of live performance from this semifinal too, so it can really change during the show. And pre-parties, of course, which can prepare us actually basically on the capabilities of those artists if they are able to perform live on smaller stages. So I'm very curious if I can pick 10 from this semifinal. So 6 are out. I would definitely pick Armenia. I would definitely pick, even it's just a guess, Cyprus and Greece. I would pick Slovenia, I would pick Georgia, I would pick Austria, I would pick Lithuania, and I would pick Australia. And then I have 2 other places, which I will fill actually with Iceland and Belgium. Yeah, that's what I would do as a fan. I think there's not much space in the semifinal for ballads, so Estonia is out. If they're not gonna change basically everything about the song live, I think it's much better to listen to this song on Spotify than to watch it live. When I even told something very interesting in my reaction video, so watch it. I'm very curious about this semifinal, especially semifinal 2. I think semifinal 1 is much more clearer actually, which is cruel for many countries, than semifinal 2. And of course this year is crazy in a way that only fans are voting in semifinals. So I would really do, if I'm a producer and if I have a money to put somewhere, I will do a huge marketing about my song and just try to put it everywhere where it's possible, to just have a chance to get into fans and general audience ears before they just watch it firstly in the stage, because more and most familiar songs for their ears has the best chance to succeed and get to the finals, where the balance is normal. That's just my opinion. What's yours? I'm very curious. What is your opinion about this imbalance? Only fans are voting in the semifinals. I'm as well very curious what is your 10 from each semifinal, and I'm very curious if you agree with me or not. You can use thumbs up, but I'm gladly hear as well your thoughts in the discussion. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Watch my other videos. All the reactions are out, so you can check if I like your song from the very first sight or not. It's not more, not less. And as well, this is the end of the video, so thank you for watching guys, and see you next time. Bye.